You got upgraded! The best 3 words to hear when flying, and that's exactly what happened for me today on American, so let's see what first class is like on the E175. After coming into Charleston, South Carolina from Tampa on Breeze's first ever flight, and after making some last minute cancellations and adjustments to my trip, I will now be flying down to Miami on American Eagle's E175, where I'll be connecting up to the Berg. Originally, this was supposed to turn into a St. Pete vacation, but that would have to be delayed to July, so time to finish up this quick May trip right now. Since I had some time after my Breeze flight, I grabbed some pizza from a local airport shop, watched some friends of mine ride off on this JetBlue flight and this Southwest flight, then headed down to gate B9 to await the boarding process. Charleston International Airport is not incredibly small, but it's not that large either. I think it fits the city quite well, with 2 concourses connected to each other, 15 gates in total, and 12 airlines operating from CHS, with Breeze rapidly becoming the top airline here. Our ride down to South Florida will be on a 2-year-old Embraer 175 operated by Envoy Air, flying under the American Eagle brand. Envoy has a fleet of 51 ERJ 145s, 8 E170s, and 98 E175s. Unlike other regional airlines that fly for multiple legacy carriers, they only fly for American because, well, American owns them.
Hello, how are you?
Right there. Thank you.
Thanks.
Hold on. You got upgraded.
There they were, the 3 magical words. My new seat, 1F. How about that? Because I didn't know until now that I'd be sitting up in first, I boarded with group 4 of 9, reserved for One World Ruby members, but first class boards with group 1.
Hello, how are you?
Thank you, American. I will definitely enjoy this space. Up in front on the bulkhead is where a literature pouch can be found holding the safety card inside, and other such things such as a barf bag and Inflight magazine. Unfortunately, there's no personal seat back pockets in row 1. As we boarded, everyone received a hand sanitizing wipe. The actual first class seat on the E175 is super comfortable, and I may even go as far as saying they're better than mainline first class seats. Padding is noticeably quite thick with large adjustable headrests. Armrests are also large, with the tray table being located inside and a recline button built into one side of it. Only things missing on the E175 versus mainline is a drink tray and a side storage cubby, but I think the comfiness definitely makes up for it. Even though this is Envoy, the hard product on board is obviously American's with the typical gray color scheme, but I think it generally looks pretty good on the E175. And for once, I actually got an aligned window. With the door now closed, it's time to make our way down to Miami.
Well, miss, I guess I'll be on my way now. You just give me a...
Ladies and gentlemen, depart in just a few moments. Flight attendants, please prepare for takeoff. Thank you.
Just before we took off, in fact during the taxi, the flight attendant up here in first came around to all of us asking what we wanted to drink after takeoff, to which I said a hot tea with cream and sugar. While a bit flimsy, the tray tables in first class are adequately sized, In fact, you can open it halfway or the full way, and it is extendable. Along with the tea, I also got this savory snack mix bag, and the flight attendant handed us the economy COVID bags as well, which included pretzels, a small water bottle, and a hand sanitizing wipe. I must say, I harp on American employees all the time on this channel, much of it justified, but this FA up here was very kind and attentive to all us first class passengers the entire flight. I'm not trying to make any assumptions, but she seemed like she was from the South, so maybe we all got treated to a little friendly Southern hospitality. After making my drink, there's no better feeling than taking that first sip of the British style tea. When the service wrapped up, passengers settled in for the hour 40-minute hop down to South Florida. So next up is a look at AA's American Way magazine, which this issue had the legend John Baptiste in. At the end is the various route maps, both domestic and international, American's hub airport diagrams, and fleet list as of May 2021. The usual shebang, which no longer exists. If you may have noticed from my various shots around the cabin, there are no PTVs anywhere on this plane, so the only way to access free entertainment is on your mobile device, accessible by clicking AA Inflight in Settings. The home screen will then pop up, displaying how much time is left in the flight. Destination weather is located just to the right of that. Wi-Fi purchase options just below that. Movies and TV shows can be found off to the left on the menu tab. And no, an American app does not need to be downloaded beforehand to watch stuff. I also should mention, along with not having touchscreen monitors, this plane also doesn't have any power outlets or USB ports, so if you know you need power, bring one of these portable battery chargers. As we drew closer to Miami, we continued gliding along the East Coast during a fantastic sunset, which means all the beach towns and cities started coming into view. Then we trekked inland, would circle around the Everglades, and land into MIA's runway 12. I don't really get to fly Envoy that much, as it's mostly Republic on American, but I must say this was a highly enjoyable experience. Now obviously I did not pay for first class, so I'm strictly speaking on my overall situation, not whether it's worth it to upgrade. I think y'all can decide for yourself with that. In terms of what I expected, it definitely was exceeded. I knew there probably wasn't going to be any personal TVs or power outlets, which is exactly what happened, but the rest of the hard product on board is actually really good, and certainly very comfortable up in first. The biggest pro for me on this flight was the flight attendant up here. She was extremely friendly, talkative, and seemed to enjoy her job a lot. I really wish more American employees could be like that, but sadly it's not the case. Very enjoyable flight down to Miami here though, on American Eagle.
Thank you.
Bye, enjoy.
Miami International Airport's D gates, which is where American's hub is at, has a regional jet area towards the western side of the north terminal, which is where we parked at this evening. As I said at the beginning, I've got a connection here, and a fairly quick one at that, so we'll be scurrying on over to my next gate, which is where I'll pick back up from here in the next video. Hope you guys enjoyed this first class E175 flight. Thank you for watching, and catch ya on the next one.